So I found out Michael Jackson had a favorite song, and he didn't write it. Charlie Chaplin did. Yeah, that's right. Charlie Chaplin, the silent movie guy. I have to hear this. Let's go. Like the violins, man. The violins are pretty dope.
Smile, though your heart is aching. Smile, even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you'll get by if you smile with your fear and sorrow. Smile.
You know, this is actually kind of making me feel like that Queen song. What is it called? The Queen song, where Freddie is talking about death. You have to keep smiling. You have to keep performing. The show must go on. This really reminds me of the show must go on because you have to keep going no matter what happens. The show is going to continue to go on. But Freddie was talking about his passing, but this is talking about something completely different. So this is talking about just carrying on. But now that you look back on it and reflecting on Michael's passing in 2009, it kind of hits different.
If you smile with your fear and sorrow, smile and maybe tomorrow you'll find
You could actually hear it, like it's heartbreaking,
it's still worthwhile
the pain in his voice.
if you just light up your face with gladness, hide every trace of sadness, although a tear may be ever so near. That's the time you must keep on trying. Smile, what's the use of crying? You'll find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile.
You know, I think when I was a kid, I used to watch Moonwalker a lot. The Michael Jackson movie Moonwalker, when he turns into that big old jumbo robot thing. Isn't this song in it? Isn't this song in Moonwalker? Let me know in the comments.
Is still worthwhile if you just smile, though your heart is aching. Smile, even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you'll get by if you smile through your fear and sorrow. Smile and maybe tomorrow you'll find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile.
There's that violin, man.
That's the time you must keep on trying. Smile, what's the use of crying? You find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile.
Something about listening to Michael Jackson, during that time, the history tour, the history time when he's recording and all that, and knowing exactly what he's going through at that time, because Michael was going through a tough time in his life. Michael was struggling mentally, emotionally, and all that stuff, because during the history recording, don't forget, he was going through the 1993 allegations, and he had to continue to deal with that while recording this. And there's songs on that album like Dom Sheldon. There's songs on there on other things. I kind of think that this was actually recorded during the bad era. It might have been re-recorded for history, but I do remember, and again, put it in the comments if I'm wrong, I do remember this being on Moonwalker. So I don't know if it was recorded during the bad era and just taken off of bad and then added to history and not even looked at for dangerous, but for some reason, I really remember this being on Moonwalker, or was that come together? I might have them confused. And to me, when I'm listening to this song, it kind of like brings a tear to my heart, or a pull strings at my heart, because even though he's going through all the allegations and going through all that, preparing for the history run, the tour, and all that stuff, he's heartbroken. He's going through this. He still has to put on be a clown for the circus. You know what I mean? He still has to go out there and play to the audience. I'm great. I'm fine. But deep down, the man was going through something that none of us could even imagine going through at that time. Going through these allegations that some people say are true, some people say it's false. I'm not the judge, jury, or executioner on this. But he's going through all that, and I think to him, this song meant something even during that time, that no matter what he's going through, he has to be the clown. He has to go out there and smile. He has to go out there and put on this persona that I am Michael Jackson, everything's okay. But deep down, he's sitting in Neverland, broken. But he has to be the clown, and that's why it really reminds me of "The Show Must Go On" by Queen. I know Smile was first, 1930s, silent films and all that. But you got to think about that, though. Freddie Mercury is going through, is dying, and the show has to go on without him. And to me, that's him giving the band permission to go on without him, even though he's gone. Where Smile, it's him having to continue to be with us. He still has to go out there and be the persona that is Michael Jackson. And that has to be hard. The man is going through some of the worst allegations you could be accused of as a man, and trying to fight this and still continuing to put on a smile. Still having to go perform for history, or the HBO special that he collapsed on because he was so exhausted, and he was fighting his marriage is falling apart, and all that stuff, all at that same time. I only know a little bit on how some of that stuff feels. Never been accused of anything like that, but I've been through a marriage falling apart, and you're still trying to pursue on and be the man that not just your wife or your kids need you to be, or your stepkids, but you also have to be something for the rest of the world out there. But you have to keep smiling. You have to put on this persona. Everything's okay. Gives you a whole different perspective when you reflect back on it. That's my thoughts on it. Okay, so let me tell you why this song exists, because the story is wild. Back in 1936, Charlie Chaplin is making his last silent film, Modern Times, and silent films still needed music. So Charlie writes this melody himself, no words, just this sad, beautiful little theme playing under his movie. Now here's the part that cracks me up. For decades, Charlie Chaplin got all the credit as the composer. But the guy who actually built the song out, a music assistant named David Raskin, he didn't get recognized as the real composer until the 2000s. So the most famous thing Charlie Chaplin ever wrote, he kind of had help writing. That's Hollywood for you, am I right? Am I right? The song sat there as an instrumental for nearly 20 years. Then in 1954, two songwriters, John Turner and Jeffrey Parsons, added lyrics to it and gave it a name, Smile. Nat King Cole records it, takes it up to the charts, and now it's the standard. Everybody's covered it. Elvis Costello, Barbra Streisand, Michael Bublé, you name it, they recorded it. So where does Michael Jackson come in? Well, check this out. When Michael was 9 years old, he drew a picture of Charlie Chaplin. He was 9. This wasn't some late career thing. He was obsessed with Chaplin his entire life. And when you think about it, it makes sense. Both of these guys got famous as kids, and both of them basically had their childhoods taken from them in the entertainment business. Chaplin was performing on the stage as a little kid in London to survive, so his mom and him could make ends meet. Michael was on stage with his brothers before he could even ride a bike. Michael looked at Chaplin and saw basically himself. And the song itself, Smile, though your heart is aching, that's the whole idea. Put a brave smile on your face, keep performing even when it hurts. Nobody on this planet understood that assignment better than Michael Jackson. That's not just a cover, that's a confession to him. So in 1995, Michael recorded his version for the History album and puts it dead last on the record. It was supposed to come out as a single in 1997. Everything was ready, the artwork, the track list, all of it was ready to go, and then it got pulled the last minute. Most of the copies were destroyed. The few that got out now are some of the rarest Michael Jackson collectibles on earth. But here's the part that gets me. When Michael passed away in 2009 at his memorial, his brother Jermaine stood up and sang Smile for him. The song that Michael loved most, sung back to him one last time. Man, that lands different once you know the whole story. So that's the story of Smile, a melody from the silent movie in 1936 that became Michael Jackson's favorite song, and the last one of his family sang for him. So do me a favor, drop a comment and tell me what your favorite version of Smile is. Is it the Nat King Cole, the Michael Jackson, or somebody else? Maybe even Chaplin's version himself. And tell me whose favorite song I should track down next. That's it from me. I'll catch you next time. I hope you'll have a good day. God bless, and as always, deuces. Until next time, keep rocking and keep the spirit of music alive. God bless everybody. Peace.